Alright, let's see if, sorry about that. It's really windy here today, and I keep losing my Wi-Fi today. So the Wi-Fi is not the greatest today. So let me get rid of these tracks we don't need, and then we'll tie the second train back together. So hopefully y'all come back. If you're back in, I apologize. It's really windy here today, so the internet and the Wi-Fi is not the greatest. Down back in because I'm not sure where that one was. So you can go. And we'll just get rid of these that we don't need. Yeah, Sassy One, sorry. Yeah, I dropped out. My Wi-Fi dropped out. It's really windy here today. And when it's really windy like this, the Wi-Fi and the internet is just horrible. Alright, so you are there. Now, do I have another one inside the mountain? I do. So let me get rid of that one. Then we can get rid of that one. Alright, so you can go. And then we can get rid of these doubles going this way. And then this one. Alright, now we can start working our way back and getting rid of the doubles. Now I gotta be careful because it's gonna leave me, if I delete the wrong one, it's gonna leave me gaps. Hold on, let me pull those couple back in. And then I gotta be careful where I'm deleting these from. So we have a solid track going back. So you. You a single, no, you're a double, so you can go. You're a double, so you can go. Yeah, I honestly don't know if this had saved me any time or not. But we're just going to keep getting rid of the duplicate track as we go until we get back to the north end of the map. And then here's where we're going to have to make some turns and stuff. Alright, so let me... Alright, you can go, you can go. And then this all has to go. So everything from here back is going to get deleted. We got to move it. But I think in the long run it did save us some time. We may end up with some tracks under the mountains, but that's alright. No one's going to see them. Now, where do I want to be back here? Probably back close to the mountain. Now, I think I want to pull this whole track forward a little bit. Our winds are supposed to pick up this afternoon. Yeah, it was really windy here last night. It's actually just starting to slow down a bit. Yeah, we're going to have to curve out from here, come across to the other side of the road, and then come around. So let me get rid of this double track here that we're not going to need. But it definitely did save me some time by doubling up this track. We already have about 3/4 of this train in. Or the tracks for this train, I should say. So we don't have that much to put back in after I get all this deleted. Definitely quicker to delete it than it is to put it back in. I know, Hillbilly just subscribed and then I lost internet, which really sucked. I'm hoping he came back in. Alright, let's take... I'm not sure exactly where this is going to land yet, but let me just take it back to where it curves. Watch, a week from now we'll be working. I'm going to leave that curve here for now. A week from now we'll be working on shit, and then we'll come back and we'll find some railroad tracks back here in the middle of nowhere. Let me figure out which part of the train I want to keep and which part of the train I want to get rid of. Alright, so we are... Forgot to tell where I am from in the world. I am from Denmark. Well, welcome. Again, I thank everybody for taking time out of their day and stopping in. So this is going to be our track coming across. And somewhere about here, we're going to put a grain station on the top of the mountain, a grain station on the bottom of the mountain, and then we'll tie the two in together. And we need one more down here on this corner somewhere. So what I think I'm going to do, I think we're going to bring this track up across the street. We're going to curve it in, and it will come across the mountain. And then somewhere here on this corner, we'll do the same thing. We'll tie a grain station in here on the top of the mountain and on the bottom of the mountain, and we'll come straight across, and we'll tie it back in with the piece coming over this way, but we're going to have to come out. Let me work my way from here back. And then we got a lot of track to get rid of. Alright, so you are here for now. So this set of track we are not going to need. So let me get rid of, and then I can, off camera, whatever track I don't need, I can just spend an hour and delete it out. But it was definitely quicker this way. So we got like 3/4 of our track in. Even though I have a ton of extra, it was definitely quicker. But we'll be making fields up here or something like 2 weeks from now, and we'll find a random piece of track up here in the middle of the grass. Let me leave this 90 in here because I'm not sure where it's going to go. But let me just throw one over there for now because I know eventually we're going to need it. So all of this can go. Yeah, we're definitely going to find some tracks laying up here like a week from now in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I honestly don't know if this saved us much time with the second set of tracks. Alright, so I think that's that section of track out. Let me highlight all the tracks and see what other kind of weird tracks I got going on back here that I need to remove yet. Oh, okay, this section here's got to go. Alright, one more section to get rid of, and then we're back to where we need to be. And then all the extra track that I don't need will be out. Now if we really wanted to, we can run a second train around the top of the mountain and tie it in even more if we really wanted to. So we'll see how it goes as we're building. I can run a third train around the perimeter of the map. We might want to even think about that before we put all the other grain stations in. Now I think a couple more sections, and then we're back on. Then we're back on track. Oh. All right, one more. All right, I think that gets rid of all my extra track. So let's come back up here. Let's highlight all the tracks. Yeah, and that's going to get rid of our extra pieces. All right, now let's bring this guy out. So this guy here, and unfortunately it's facing the wrong way, but that's all right. We'll spin it around once we get to a 90. Tie you back in. And come across. Now I do have to, yeah, we'll come across and like we've got to curve back. Okay. I keep forgetting I'm opposite of where I normally run. So now let's bring our 90 over. Get this laid out where I want it now. So you're actually going to go this way. And you're going to tie in. You're coming back. Let me go down on my speed so I can get these adjusted the way I want. And which one are you? You are Z, so let's go 0.2 right there. So that's going to tie that in coming down this way. So let's grab this guy and bring him down this way. And we'll get the second loop finished. And if we get the second loop finished at a reasonable time, then I'll think about exporting all the train parts into the map. And we'll see about getting the train getting at least maybe one train spline in. Bring you down, and you're going to curve again. So, and then you're all facing the wrong way. So let me just delete this little strip out of here. And this will get us tied back to the direction I need to go. But before I bring the first train in, I actually need to see if we're going to run a third set of tracks. Alright, so that gets us back to where we need to be. So we need to come down, we need to come along this mountain range. So let's come back here, let's grab this 90. And let's bring him this way and down. Let's see where he ties in. Yeah, I want to get him as close to the mountain as I can. So we'll probably grab, a full section is going to be too much. Let me find a 30. Yeah, let's grab this 30. And we'll throw it here, and it's 205.82. And let's turn you and get you lined up. And you're going to be a little bit too long, so let's grab a 20. So let me get rid of that guy. Let me find a 20. Come on, there's got to be a 20 in here somewhere. $20-meter. And let's go take it to 1, so it's full length. Let's go 205.82, and it gets me on my correct height. Take it to 0, and then we'll get this guy tied in. Perfect. Now bring this guy back, get him tied in, and now we'll grab our full length, our 50, and spin it that way, and we'll bring it back, and we'll continue down. Alright, now let's take this down, see where we end up. Probably too far back from the mountain where I want to be, so we may have to do another S-bend once we get down a little bit further. Let's see where I want, before I go any further, let's see where I want to tie in. Yeah, we're going to have to do another S-bend to get closer to the mountain, because somewhere down here I want to get another while I'm here and I see it, let me get rid of this extra grass. Somewhere about here, I want to tie in another railroad grain station. So let me grab one real quick. Railroad grain. You are where? Over there. So 205.971. Let me duplicate him. Throw him here. 205.971 is the correct height. And then I'm going to spin him this way to 0, and we'll get a grain station somewhere in here that ties in with the train, and we'll put one at the bottom of the mountain, and we'll tie them both together so I can drop product off on the bottom of the mountain and then fill the train on the top of the mountain. So by doing that, we're going to have to S-bend this train track in again a little bit closer. We're going to probably have to do a double S-bend. So let me grab, I guess I could put a bunch of trees in there. Let's continue out a couple more sections, maybe 3 more sections, and then we'll do an S-bend. Section, and then I'll estimate where I need to go. Alright, so let me grab one more of these. So we've got to come down . It doesn't have to be exact as long as I'm close. I could adjust the grain station. So we got to come back to about there. And that's about as far back as I can go without cutting into the mountain. So let's grab... no, let's come over here and grab this one. I don't think I have any 45-degree angles in the map. So let's grab this guy. Duplicate him. Let's bring him back. Get him close to where I need him. He'll be somewhere there. Then let me duplicate this guy again. Let's turn him this way. And that gets me close to where I need to be there. So you're going to come out. To about, now do I want to do a curve here, a curve here? I don't want to do a bunch of bendy, so let's just do this. let's bring this guy straight across. And if I have to fill the gap in between the tracks and the mountain, we can put a small forest in. So let's tie this all in together. And I get out to that S-bend, or that curve, I'm gonna do a quick save. Because my luck, the way it's been so windy, I'll lose power and lose everything I've done. So I like to save about every 15 to 20 minutes. So let me do a quick save. Take a peek at chat. Rob VTV, hello, thank you for stopping in. We almost have the second train loop in. And we have a bunch of bridges to build. And that's another whole nightmare. Alright, so you... Yeah, I can bring you back a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt. I can cut that mountain in a little bit. So let's bring you back. Or do I want to put like a 20 in? Yeah, let me grab a 20. Let's start with 20 in here. Where do I have one? 20 meters straight. And then you are 205.82. That'll put you at the right height. Let's get you tied in. Alright, we'll get you tied in, we'll get you tied in. Alright, I'm going to have to do the hard way. I'm going to go down on my speed. So you are that direction, so 0.17. Right about there. And then you got to come out the other way a little bit more. So let's go 0.45. Oh, hold on. 17.5. Oh, okay, I lost it. Now, hold on. Let me back up. Oh, there we go. So 0.3. Oh, there we go. 0.4. That, okay, so that ties me in there. So now we got to work our way back to that S-bend. So let me grab a straight piece, not the 20. Give me a 50. All right, you. Let's bring you over. And that way. And let's get you ran towards the mountain. All right, now. Yeah, I think I hate railroad tracks more than I hate putting roads in. Let me go up my speed a little bit. There we go. Now, again, I can't put a full section in here. So let me find a 20, or that looks more like a 30. Let me throw a 20 in here just to see what my space looks like. And I'm thinking I need a 30. Yeah, let me grab a 30. 30 meter. 30 meter U. I'll throw you here. Spin you this way. Yeah, we'll get you. Yeah, you're going to be about perfect. 20. You're too tall though. 205.82. They get you the height I need. And you're about there. Now, can this curve? Does this curve, can this curve get moved? This curve, let's see. So you are going to be up just a hair more this way. All right, now I can bring you back and get you tied in over here. Tie you in here. And then this piece needs to go just a little bit shorter. So let's go 0.9. 0.985. Oh, yeah, that works. Now we can get our. Now we can line our curve up. All right, so that ties that in. And now you can come down this way to the grain station. Oh, give me a second, I'll take a peek at chat. Oh, no, I am good. I'm caught up on chat. Alright, so that gets us through the grain station. And let's go one more for good measure. And again, the grain station's just a temporary placeholder until we get them all built exactly where we want them. Now, how far do you have to come out before I got to turn back again and tie all this in? Quite a bit. Oh, we got some more S-bendies over here. So let's work on this section and get this section about where I want it. Or do I want to pull this out to the other side of the road and then come straight back? Hold on, let me grab some speed. We may change this track up a little bit. So this is where it goes back to Central Station. And I think I'm going to bring it back to the other side of the tracks. So hold on a second. So you, give me this, okay, give me the bend. Perfect. So you're going to come straight back. So you're on the other side of the tracks, which means this mess needs to go. The joys of roughing in a railroad. The land here needs to be adjusted. It's a little too high. Alright, so you can go Let me just get rid of these parts and pieces I don't need. This way we can get them lined up exactly where we want them. Alright, so now you can come out across the road. And then we can tie our two ends together. Let me go back down on my speed a little bit. And you are no, you're a 30. Why are you a 30? Let me delete you. What are you? You're a 30. Let me delete you. I want a 50. There we go. That looked way too short. Now we can come across the street and make a right. And actually, we could probably go back even a little bit further to get closer to the edge of the map if we wanted to put like a farm or something way back there and tie it into the track. So let me see how that looks. So instead of making a right here, we can come straight back closer to the edge of the map. Then we can hang a right. We can come up here, cross the water, put another bridge here, and then come back and tie it back in with this. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to go that route. And it gets us away from the center mountain a little bit. So let's pull you so we can continue working our way straight back. So probably another half an hour we'll have this loop done. And then we'll go in game and we'll see what it looks like. We don't have any trains yet in the map, but we can at least see what the tracks look like. You know, we actually may change something up. I may tear that first train track apart and do something a little bit different as well. So now I've got another idea. I know, I get dangerous when I get in here and start thinking. But let me show, once we get out to the edge of the map, I'll show you what I'm thinking. And it's actually a pretty decent idea. But let me get to the edge of the map so I can show you what I'm thinking. And we'll have to go and change the first set of tracks a little bit. And if I do that, it's going to add an extra day on the build, but I'm okay with that, because we'll run 3 trains instead of 2 trains. And it won't be hard to put the third, well, it'll be time consuming, but it won't be hard to put the 3rd train in. But it'll make the train system a lot more useful to transfer from train to train and to get back to Central Station. Trying to keep an eye on my stream so I don't lose internet again. But let's go back this way. Not sure how much further, but we'll go back this way. I want to get closer to the edge of the map. And I think I'm going to put the third train in, and I'll show you why. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, hold on. Let me duplicate this guy a second. Let me turn him this way to 0. And I just need to guesstimate about how far back I want to come. So I want to bring him back to about here, so I know how far back to come with that track. I'm going to come back to about here and then make my turn. Better I change it up now than after I get the train loops in and the splines in and all the railroad crossings in, and then change my mind. Because by putting this extra train in, we can build extra farms, and it'll be easy. It'll be more multiplayer friendly. Right, so let me grab a 90-degree. So I want to set 205.82, and it gets me at the right height. So let's go this way to 0. Let's get it all lined up. No, it's got to go back the other way a little bit. This one. So 3, 1, 1. Yeah, like that. So now we take this guy and we line him up coming back this way. Get him tied in or evened up. Alright, now we come back across the water with yet another bridge that we have to build. We're going to spend an entire day just building bridges. Just put one or two more sections in and we'll see how much further I have to go before we tie it in. So just tie you in a second. Bear with me a second. I'm going to fly over here. Oh, we got quite a ways, I think. Yeah, we got to go all the way down to the bridge. All right, hold on. Let me push this guy. So you're lined up perfectly this way, right? Yeah, cool. So let me push you straight back so I know about where this other track has to come up. And since this is a 16x map and we have a ton of space, so let me put you here for now. What I'm thinking of doing is, well, not quite that far back. What I'm thinking about doing is putting another transfer station here and then a set of tracks that runs around the outside perimeter of the entire map, which is quite a bit, doesn't look like it in the editor, but it's quite a bit distance away from the other train tracks, especially on the north side of the map and the south side of the map. So what we'll essentially do is run another train around the perimeter of the entire map. So if anybody wants to build a farm back here, they can use a railroad. So the train will run through here. There'll be a grain station here. They can dump their stuff in the grain, load it into the train, so load it into train 3, come over here, transfer it from train 3 to train 2, and then take train 2 and dump it into Central Station. So what I may do is I may put the third train in. And if I put the third train in, I think I want to give myself a little bit more room. So let me do this before we go much further. So you're going to get deleted. You're getting deleted. I want to give myself a little bit more room so I'm not as close to the perimeter of the map. So let me take one section out. I want to pull you forward. Because I like playing with the trains. I don't mind transferring product from train to train. I think it's fun. So you are now going to come down here. So you're not as close to the edge of the map. So it gives me room to put another train in. And it will take you down and we'll close the loop. Oh, how did we end up with the double? Oh, I must have left an extra one in. Why did that look like a double? That was really weird. Oh, because it's off the ground. That's why it looked like a double. And it'll definitely make the train system user-friendly. And I lost you for a bit, but you're back. Yeah, my Wi-Fi dropped out. It's really windy here. So my Wi-Fi actually completely disconnected, which ended my stream abruptly. So I had to reset and start over start my stream over. But we're about to get the second train loop done. But if I'm going to have to go in and change the first train loop up a little bit if I want to put a third train in, which I seriously think I'm going to do. So I don't mind extending the build an extra day to put a third train in. Because by the time we're done laying tracks, we're not going to have time to put a train spline in anyway. It takes a couple hours to put a train spline in, and I'd rather do that when I'm fresh on Saturday. We can get the trains actual in the map and running on Saturday. Tomorrow is going to be factory day. I want to try and get at least 2 factories built tomorrow, if not 3. Because by the time this map is done, we'll have about 30 placeable factories done. And if you saw Facebook, Papa Smurf is hard at work on the refrigerator truck to carry our ice cream and our ice cubes and all of our frozen foods with. Now I know I'm not even close, but where was that 90 degree? We got to go down to the bridge. We got quite a bit of ways to go yet. But let me get this loop finished, and I'll show you where we are so far. Bear with me for about another 15-20 minutes till we get this loop closed. And then we'll go in game and see how it looks, and see if I want to even add a third train. Yeah, we got a ways to go. Tell you what though, when I built Ritchieville, that was the first time I've ever put train tracks or a train in a map. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and it probably took me a week to put just one train in. So this is actually going a lot quicker than I expected. So we almost have 2 complete tracks in. I think it took me 3 or 4 days to figure out how to even put the train spline in and get the trains running. It was a lot of YouTube videos and how-to videos and Twitch stream replays on how to put train tracks in, and trial and error. Alright, it's been a minute. Let me do a save. Let this save. I'm going to grab a sip of coffee. Our 90-degree turn is coming into view. So probably another 10 or 15 minutes we'll have the second loop done. Oh, I don't know how much longer I can actually sit in this desk chair today. Because the back is definitely killing me today. And the wrist is killing me today because it's a lot of movement with my mouse. So there's a lot of mouse work today. Ooh, wrong one. We're getting there. I can see the 90-degree bend coming up. Alright, so I gotta be careful how I slide you because you're in position almost. So let's bring you there. And that's probably gonna need a 30. Let's bring this track straight back and tie that bend in first. This will be our second train loop almost done. And I don't know if I have it in me today to put the third train in. Well, not even the third train. The tracks for the third train. But if I do the third train, I'm going to create some transform groups. That'll make it easier. It'll make it a little bit quicker putting the train in. You've been in that chair all day. I need a break. Yeah, I'll get a break around dinner time. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Probably go for about another hour and a half, and then I'll probably call it a night. Hour and a half to 2 hours. Another hour and a half or 2 hours ain't gonna kill me. And I was gonna lay in bed and do a little bit of playing tonight, but I forgot it's BattleBots night, so it's on from 7 to 9 my time. So it's BattleBots. It's robot fighting time. So there won't be any playing tonight. We'll be watching robot fighting tonight. Alright, so probably a 230s, and we'll fill this gap in. So let me grab a 30. And we'll throw one here. And you're 205.82. And you've got to go this way to 90. That's fun too. Yeah, it's robot. I like Farouk. It's robot fighting time. I think he's really cool. Alright, yeah, so that's going to work out perfect. Alright, so let's duplicate you. And we'll throw you over there for now. And let's make this one. Well, before I make that one any longer, we got to get our 90-degree lined up. So let's get you turned this way to 0. Yeah, we're going to have to make both of these just a little bit longer. And then we'll get our 90-degree lined up. And that's going to close the second loop. Well, the tracks for the second train, I should say. Alright, for now, let's go 0.2. And for you, let's go 0.2. And then I can get my 90-degree turn lined up. So how are you on this side? Let me take my speed down a little bit. So how are you lined up this way? Pretty good. So just got to get you lined up this way. So you actually got to come forward a little bit. Which way is that? 0.78. So right about there. And we take this guy and we make him a little bit shorter. We tie him in there. And we take this guy on this side. We make him, a little bit shorter. And we tie him in there. Now I think, let me grab some speed. I think that closes our second loop. So let's go for a fly. So we're going to run around here. And then let me cut this mountain back a little bit. So let's go to replace. And then let's take this mountain back a little bit on this side. So that'll be our double track coming across here. So we got to build a bridge, double bridge. Oh, I know why I'm getting weird shadows. Alright, so that'll be our double bridge coming through here. And then let me open this up a little bit more. And that'll be our second. So that's our double track coming into Central Station, so we can transfer from train to train. And then let me open this side up a little bit. That'll be, oh crap, hold on. So that'll be our second train. Coming across this way. And then let's open this, let's fix this mountain a little bit more. So let's take you down. Let's bring you back some. So that's going to open up some space here. Oh. And that'll bring our double track across, and then the two trains, one will split north and one will split south. We have got a bunch of road crossings to fix. So let's check our south loop. Make sure I didn't mess anything up there. And then this one will go this way. So you'll come across here. You'll hang a left, you'll come over here, you'll do another curvy thing, and then you'll come back here again. You'll tie in with this grain station, and this grain station will tie in with the grain station that's down below. And then you're going to come to the edge of the map, and then you're going to loop around. And then you're going to come back to Central Station. Ignore those bits up in the air, they're all going to get deleted. So that'll tie back in with Central Station on the south train. So we can transfer from train to train and go south or go north. And in our north loop, I'm going to change up a little bit, even though it's in. Instead of hanging right here, I'm going to take it back to the edge of the map. We're going to come back here, then we're going to go north. We're going to cross the river over here. And then we're going to come back this way and tie it back in. So I'm going to add about an extra hour or half an hour. I want to redo this track because then I want to run a train around the outside perimeter of the map. So it'll be train 3 running around the outside the perimeter of the map. This way, if anybody wants to build a farm back here, they'll still have access to the train. So if they have a big wheat field back here, they can dump their product into train, transfer it to train 2, and then take it into Central Station. So I think we're going to take and change up this track a little bit on train 1, or train A, whatever we want to call it. So I am going to add myself a little bit of work. So I want to stretch you back this way. I want to bring you back somewhere in here, and then we'll go back down that way. So you, I'm just going to flip it this way to make it easier. I don't mind taking the extra time now and moving these tracks. And then I can delete the other tracks. If I don't do it now, we'll do it off camera. Alright, so let's go back to subtract. Let's get rid of... And even if I do the whole third train off camera, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know how much longer I can stand laying railroad track today. So Saturday we may put, if I don't get to it, Saturday we may put the third train track, the set of train tracks in for the third train. bring you back. Just like building roads, it gets really old after about 6 or 8 hours. But I'd rather change it now than change it later after we get all the splines in. And let's get rid of some more grass. So I hate driving across the map. That's one of my things that I absolutely hate doing, but I refuse to teleport. So I'd rather take the time and transfer product from one train to the other and drive the train across the map. Because I can load like 5 different train cars with 5 different grains and move it across the map. I may not put the 3rd train in. We'll see how I feel once we get in here and drive around. May end up just leaving the 2 trains in. We'll see. I don't like that gap. Let me pull this one back a little bit further. And now let's come up here to this one. And we'll get you pulled back. You in now. Do I want to push you out one more length, or do I want to bring you back? And no, let's bring you back and tie you in right there. Like so. And now let's get rid of some grass going this way. Then we'll take this guy and bring him over, flip him that way. Captain Jake 5, hello Steve, is there a way for textures for the compost to show on the fields? No, it's tied into the manure texture because I'm lucky I even got compost to even spread on the fields. It took me about an entire day of trial and error just to get the compost to spread on the map. And at that point, I didn't want to mess with making all new textures for the map. So it's going to look like manure. It's not going to look like compost. Can you not make them 100 meters? I can't because it stretches the gap between the railroad ties out too far, and I don't have a 100-meter railroad track. The biggest railroad track I had is a 50-meter track. So unfortunately, I've got to suffer with the 50 meters, but we're not that far from being done. In all honesty, we got 2 complete train tracks done today on a 16x map. So I can't complain with my progress today. We still have all the bridges to build, but I can't complain on getting the track laid. What I could do if I really wanted to is I could put 250s together in one transform group to go a little bit quicker, but it's all good. And I got a bunch of grass on the mountain. That's an issue for another day. Yeah, I could put one track inside of the other track and make it 100 meter if I wanted to. But it's all good. It's the pains of building a brand new map from scratch. Is there a limit on the length? There's not a limit on the well. Here's the problem though. If I double this up here, let me show you. If I double this up to go to 100 meter, it stretches the ties out too far. So I have to leave it at this length. But what I could do, if I wanted to, I can duplicate it. I can cut it out, I can put it back inside of the previous one, and then I can go edit, interact placement. I can put it back in here. I can change it to 0, and then I can line it up. Let's bring it, and it messes my height up, and then I've got to adjust it and make it all work. But I can tie it into this one if I wanted to, like this. And then essentially these two become one track, and now all I got to do is move this one and then duplicate this one, and it basically creates a second, like 100 meter track. So all I had to do is put a track inside of a track, and then it pretty much does the same thing. Now, how far back? Let me get that one in place. How far back am I coming before I completely mess this up? So let me pull my curve back so I know where I'm at. And then we're going to have to come back here and delete this other track. Yeah, I got quite a ways to go. So you are going to come back this way. So I know about where to run that track. You're going to come back to somewhere about there. Oh, too far back, but that gets me close. Just make sure everything here is lined up. When I put the track inside of the track, nothing went wonky. Yeah, that looked pretty good. All right. So now we take you, and we continue down, and I can keep going. I can put like 4 tracks inside of each other, make these like 200 meter or 300 meter or however long I want. And we'll probably do that if I put the third train in. I'll make like one complete transform group, run it across the length of the map, and then duplicate it and turn it, and then run it. So eventually all you do is create one and then duplicate it 3 more times. So if I put the third train in, that's probably what we'll do. It's just, the longer it is for me, it's more zooming in and out I have to do in order to see and to line the tracks up. But if I didn't decide to add this extra bend onto it, this track would have been done. But I'm setting myself up to put a third train in. So I don't know if it's any quicker because it's more zooming in and out I have to do with the camera. So to me, I think the shorter lengths are easier to put in because it's twice as long for me to zoom in and out with the camera. Let me erase more grass. So 6 of one, half dozen of another. I really don't know how much time it actually saves being longer. Where did my bend go? I got a little bit further. So a couple more sections. And we'll find our 90-degree bend. And then we'll tie this track in. And we'll go in game and see what it looks like. Yeah, a couple more sections. Yeah, I think for me personally, with it being longer and with my eyes being real bad and having a pretty small, old, crappy monitor, it's actually easier for me to put the short sections in. And let me get rid of some more grass. And then maybe one more. Pull this 90 down, see how close we are. Alright, will you let me do another double. No, you're going to be too long, so let me do a single. So let's bring you out. And then I'm going to have to grab, you look like a 20, so let me find a 20 meter. You're a 10. Let me find a 20. 20. So turn you. Oh, let me grab a 30. Let's find a 30. 30 meter. Take you to 1:2:05.82. Oh, 2:05.82. That gets me the height I need. Let's turn you back to 0. Yeah, 30's gonna work better. Yeah, let me go down on my speed so I can get this corner tied in. Everything lined up. So let's bring you down. Let's make you a little bit longer for now until I get everything lined up. So you're just going to sit there like that for a minute. Why does that seem like way off now? All right, I'm going to bring this back because that doesn't seem like it's lined up right for some reason. But I could be wrong. So you, I'm just going to stick with the 50s for now. More grass. And if for some reason, if the family's home and I cannot stream on Saturday, I'll probably just put the third train in on Saturday. But we probably have a good couple hours just building railroad bridges and finishing the regular road bridges. to get this loop closed. I was gonna wait until I get to the end and close this loop and do a save. Let me do a quick save. It's been a little while. Grab a sip of coffee. Prom games, hello. You'll have to do a lot of splines. Yeah. I have a good system. Do you have a good system to make splines? I am old school spline. Don't ask me to use any of the spline creators. Or I am old school click and drag when I put my splines in. So no spline creator for me. I don't mind taking the extra day and getting the splines in, or an extra 2 days and get the splines in. I don't mind putting 1,000 points in by hand. But yeah, I've got a ton of traffic splines to put in. I've got a ton of train splines to put in. Eventually we'll have a ton of pedestrian splines to put in. See, to me that's fun. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it the long way. I don't want to rush this map out anyway. So I want to have about 30 factories released before we're even close to releasing this map. So I don't care if this map takes 6 months to build. I run courseplay, make the course, save it, and convert it to splines. That's a good idea. Unfortunately, I don't use courseplay, so I wouldn't even begin to know how to make a spline in courseplay. So I don't mind putting the points in. But let me get this loop closed and we'll go in game. I'll show you what we got going so far. All I gotta do is finish this up to this corner. And then we've got 2 complete sets of train tracks in. And then I just have to delete out some extra track since I had decided to move the train. Why am I doing 30s instead of 50s? I didn't even know this was a 30. I didn't even realize it till now, till we're almost all the way across. Oh well. We got a bunch of 30s instead of 50s. It makes no difference. It all looks the same when you're in the game. By the time I get the gravel under it, and I thought this thing was awfully short for some reason. Alright, now, crap, let me grab a 10. I didn't even realize these were 30s I was using. Let me grab a 10. Uh, 205.82 gets my height. Because I'm trying to keep up with chat, I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. Alright, so that's going to tie that in, so we just got to make you a little bit shorter and then tie this curve in. let's go 0.9. So that ties this end in. How are you lined up? You're actually lined up pretty good. How are you lined up on this side? I think you're off because this one's just a little bit too long. Let me try shortening this guy up just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. No, so you're going to be off a little bit, so I got to move you up a little bit. 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2. Right, there we go. So that ties that end in. It ties this end in, right? Yeah, so that ties my track in. Let me get rid of some extra pieces and we'll go in game. And I want to see what it feels like in game. Now, I can't even run the train splines because I don't even have the trains imported into the map files yet. So unfortunately, we can't even run a train spline. Let me just get rid of this track since I decided to move it last minute. And we've got, unfortunately, about 6 or 8 bridges to build. Both railroad bridges and road bridges. Just come down here and make sure I'm not going to miss anything. Alright, so you are out, and then you have to come out. Alright, now that cleans up. That ties both of our tracks in. There's one extra one I want to get rid of. So track A is good. This one has to go. So there's my track B. 2 parts of track B. Let me head over towards Central Station. Am I still on grass by chance? I am. Let's get rid of this mess because it catches my eye every time I come through here. So the north train and the south train are going to tie in here somewhere in Central Station. So we'll have a whole complex here where we have train A and train B tying into each other. We'll have all of our liquid storages, our grain storages, our pallet storages, everything will be tied in right here in this area of the map. Let's do a quick save and then let's head in. Let's head in game and see what it looks like. There's also 100 meter. I've tied 250s together to make 100. And I think I'll do that when I go around the perimeter of the map. So I'm thinking about putting one more train in. Alright, so let's minimize this. Let's pull up, make sure we're on the correct map. And let's grab a save game we're not using. What's your own program never published? Team Tactics, hello. Thank you for stopping in, saying hello, taking time out of your day. Alright, so let's jump in here. Ignore this map. This is the old islands map. So I used the same base to build this map. And let's just lease a truck real quick. So this is going to be about where the vehicle shop is, but I'm not going to use this building. I want to put a different building in. So this is just temporary so I can spawn vehicles in. So on the roads, there's going to be, we have Central Mountain, and then there's a valley with a river surrounded by the outer mountains. So, and then our train tracks, there's going to be our train tracks, our two trains are going to meet here at Central Station. If I can get over the tracks, kind of, sort of, yeah. So our two trains are going to meet here. One's going to head north, one's going to head south. I don't have any of the railroad crossings in yet. There's 4 upper bridges that go from Central Mountain to Outer Mountain across the valley. And then the river running, or canal, whatever you want to call it, running through the valley. A hot air balloon's going to get moved. So that's why I have the spline visible. I've got all the train bridges to build yet. So if I was a train on this track, you're going to come out a couple little gaps here and there, but oh, wipe out. That's the only crossing I put in because I wanted to just make sure it was going to fit. So the north train is going to come all the way out to the edge of the map. And I've got a gap there I need. So a couple gaps I'll come in the editor and take care of. Actually, you don't even look like you're lined up right. Oh, it's just a little bit too short. No, the textures don't match. Alright. So the track is lined up. That'll take care of itself when I put the gravel in. So this is going to be our north train. Oh, there's no bridge over here for me to cross. I'm going to have to come back over and take the road. But anyway, that's going to keep going north. That's going to cross the river. Let me come down to the road, because I'm not even going to try and drive across the tracks, because I'll end up in the water. So let's take the road across. And I gotta be careful how I cross this, because this bridge isn't in yet either. And then the train's gonna curve over this way and run across the northern end of the map. So you're going to come down this way. And then you're going to come down this way close to the mountain edge. And then it's going to swing this way. And then you're going to be able to drop product off by truck or by train here and transfer it from truck to train or train to truck. And then I'm going to run a pipe from this building down to the grain station on the bottom. And I'm going to tie these two stations together so I can drop grain off by truck or train in that station. And then I can pick it up down here on the lower station, or the same thing, I can drop grain in here on the lower station, and then I can pick it up here on the upper station. So those two are going to be tied together. So this train is going to continue down. And then I had to jog it out because it was too close to the edge of the mountain. So we're going to do an S-bend. We're going to come back down this way. Oh, I see a nice long narrow field right here between the road and the truck, the road and the train. Oh yeah, we can get a nice little skinny long field right in here. You know that's going to happen now. Oh look, and then on this side of the road we could put another nice little long skinny field in. And then we could put a forest on the between the track and the mountain. Oh yeah, I see a nice long little field in here. So you're going to continue straight and curve around, but I'm going to show you there's a road here that goes back down into the valley. So that takes you back down into the valley by road. But the train track's going to curve around. And then there's going to be another grain station here. I'm going to lower this mountain a little bit because it's way too high. I'm actually going to lower that mountain a lot. So there's going to be another grain station here that I can drop off by truck or by train. Let me grab a little bit of speed. And then I'll have some piping. I'm going to flatten this mountain out so it's not as tall. So there'll be another grain station on the bottom. I'll tie these two together with a series of pipes, and then we can again transfer from the upper station to the lower station in this corner of the map. Yeah, definitely going to lower that mountain some. I spent 18 hours yesterday just working on mountains. Oh, yeah, we definitely got to work on some mountain on this section. All right, so the train's going to continue down. Get back on this side of the tracks. It would be cool with a waterfall from the river to. There is. Let me take it to the other side. There's a waterfall from the central mountain down on the other side. Don't have it in me to build a second waterfall. The first one was a pain to put in. Alright, so you're going to come around, you're going to hang a right, and then you're going to tie back into Central Station in the center of the mountain, and then this is the other upper bridge, takes us back to the Central Mountain. And then my south train is going to come out here. So my south train is going to come over and around, go out to the edge of the map and hang a right. We have to take the road because I don't have a bridge built back there yet. So we're going to take the road. But if you were on the road instead of the train tracks, there's another elevation change here taking you back down into the valley. So this bridge I still have to build. So our railroad track is going to continue around to another grain station, transfer station. Transfer from truck to train or train to truck. So if I had a big wheat field right here, I could dump it into the grain station here, pick it up by train, and then run it from the train back into Central Station. And then there's going to be another grain station down here at the bottom of the mountain. And then the same thing. These two grain stations will be tied together, So if I have a barley field down here on the bottom, I can dump my grain in the grain station on the bottom, and then I can come up here and I can pick it up by train here, and then I can run it back to Central Station from here. So let's get on this side of the tracks. So this will curve down and around. And I could have put this on a 45 if I wanted to, but I didn't feel like messing with it. So this will run across the south end of the map. Yeah, I'll show you the central, I'll show you, we'll work our way back to Central Mountain. I'll show you the waterfall down there. So we got another bridge here going, it's back to Central Mountain. The train will continue along here. I got a lot of grass on the mountain to re-race. So this map will have a ton of space to put your placeables down. I'm going to leave lots of meadows, and I'm going to leave lots of empty lots for placeables built into the map. So it'll be multiplayer friendly because there'll be plenty of space to claim. And then somewhere about here, I'm going to put another grain station on top that ties into a grain station down here on the bottom of the hill. And the same thing, these two will be tied together. So somewhere right about here, we'll have another grain station. This will come back. Train will head south or north from here. So we're heading back north. And then it'll run up to the middle of the map and then hang a right and go back to Central Station. And then what I want to do is I want to run one more train around the perimeter of the outside of the map, right near the border of the edge border of the map, the edge of the map border. We'll run somewhere like straight out to the edge of the map. I'll run one more set of tracks around the outside of the map, but let me show you the center. We'll head back down the valley. So back down into the valley. So there's There's a set of road that runs on the outside of the canal, and there's a set of roads that runs on the inside of the canal. So we got one road going this way, and you can see the waterfall here coming down the center mountain. So there's a road that runs around the outside of the canal in the valley, and then there's another road that runs around the inside of the canal in the valley. So, a couple of bridges to cross the canal. I know my bridges are flowing. I got to put all the piers in. So, another road inside the canal. And then there'll be another bridge here. I just don't have it built yet. So there'll be another bridge here, and here's where the waterfall is running. The waterfall coming down. Bridge right here. Boats running underneath it. There'll be two fishing boats running around the canal, so it'll be better for multiplayer. Instead of having one fishing boat, we'll have two fishing boats. And then ignore the hot air balloon spline, that has to get moved. And the animal dealer is going to get moved. So ignore the balloon and ignore the animal dealer. And then this will run us back up to yeah, I got some weird humps and stuff right there to work on, but I just roughed the mountain in yesterday. So this will take us up to the first level. I'm going to put the animal dealer like right in here. So the animal dealer will sit right here. And then this will take us up to the top of the center mountain. And the top of Center Mountain up here, we'll have Central Station, we'll have the vehicle shop, we'll have a big town, bunch of sell points. So all that will be up here, and then this road ties in our big bridges going north, east, south, and west. And then at some point we'll have a road running over to the castle. Ignore all these extra parts and pieces and bridges and stuff. This is just my staging area for now. So I've got a bunch of stuff just sitting up here. But I'm going to have to tie a road in coming around to the castle because I still want to leave the castle here and the restaurant as a sell point. So we just have to come in here and redecorate it and retexture it. So eventually there'll be a road running through here and then back around this direction somewhere. And then it'll tie back in with the main road. Yeah. So that'll tie back in with the main road somewhere in here. So not bad progress for being day 6 of a brand new build. Alright, let's get out of here. Perfect landing, 10 out of 10. Alright, so what I want to play around with, I want to see about getting a third train running around the perimeter of the map. So somewhere in here I'll have a transfer station and we'll be able to transfer from one train to another. So let me just look at something really quick. So let me go create another transform group. I don't even know if I'm going to keep the third train. This is just something I want to play with. So let's call you train C. Let me grab just one section really quick. Alright, so 205.82 is my correct height. Now what I was thinking about doing was putting a third train that runs around the perimeter of the map on the upper level. So it'll run, let's come back to this corner. And then let me do something with my transform groups. So you'll be, oh, never mind. Let me do something. So I gotta, just bear with me a second. So you're gonna run, I wanna leave room for a map border. So you'll run somewhere about here. Let me subtract some grass. Let me paint in, I don't care, give me just any texture. Just so I know where to put this track back in, because I'm gonna lose it for a second. So you're going to go right in, back in somewhere there. What I want to do is I want to take this transform group, I want to move it here, then I want to take this track, I want to put it back here, and then I want to duplicate this track, I want to put it back in here, and then I want to line it up so it's essentially a 100-meter track. So let me get it all. Sorry, let me get it all lined up here real quick. So essentially what I want to do is, now that I have a 100-meter track, all I got to do is run it straight down And since it's going to be in its own transform group, once I run it down to the edge of the border, I can duplicate it 4 different directions. So it'll be a lot quicker for me to run to tie this train in. And again, this is going to be pretty much Saturday's project, because tomorrow I want to work on new factories all day. So let me get rid of grass as we go. So once I get the first run done across the entire map, then I can just duplicate this transform group and move it northeast, south, and west. And then just tie it in with 4 corner pieces. So this third train will go in a lot quicker than the first 2 trains did. And then at some point between now and Saturday, I'm going to import the train into my map files. I'll get all the XMLs set up. I'll get all my XMLs tied into my mod description and all that jazz. I'll get all the i3Ds in the map for the trains. So by the time Saturday rolls around, we can work on train splines. So I got to get the train spline in before I can put the traffic splines in. Well, I don't have to, I want to. But like I said, by me putting this third train in now, let's say I'm running multiplayer and I have my own farm, and I build my own farm, you know, somewhere back in this corner, and I have a grain station sitting right here. I could dump my product right here into the train station, run my train station down to the transfer train, throw it in my north or south train, and then run it into Central Station without having to drive back and forth across the map. And what's nice about doing that is my train car will have like 6 grain cars on it. So I can run like 6 different products from this corner of the map into Central Station. And then from Central Station it can go to whatever factory it needs to go to. So I don't mind spending an extra 2 days to get a third train in the map, since we're this early in the build. And it's about 4:30 my time. We'll go for about another half hour, 45 minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here for the night, because I've been in this chair now for 12 hours. Let me pull this one back a little bit. I see a gap. Don't get this one tied in. And I swear I'm going to spend a day off camera just erasing the grass off of this entire map. Yeah, I'm really hoping we have time tomorrow to get like three new factories built. I'm thinking about bringing in a different grass texture for this map. And if I do that, the grass from the entire map will disappear anyway, because it'll be a different i3D for the grass. So all the grass on the entire map will disappear. I like the grass from FS17 from the Goldcrest Valley map that had the little flowers in it. And if I can convert it over from 17, I want to grab the grass i3Ds and textures, and I want to build them into this map, because I really like that grass. I don't like this grass at all. And if I could find the 19 conversion to from FS17 to 19, if it still has that flowery grass in it, then I won't even have to convert it. All I got to do is take the i3D and the textures. So that's something I want to look into yet before we get too much further in the build, is I want to see about changing up the grass texture. I don't like the grass from the Alpine map, but I do love the grass from Goldcrest Valley. And again, I may put this train in and hate it too, so we'll see. But I'm trying to build this map to be multiplayer friendly also. Because once it's finished, my Dixie, Papa Smurf, myself, and the team, we're going to have to test it on a server. Anyway. Now, and actually, if I'm about halfway down, what I can actually do now is I could take this transform group, I can duplicate it, and then I can slide this one straight down and then tie it in here. And that'll put us down even further. And it's going to run right along this track, like right where I want it. Oh, it's up too high. Crap, this whole track is up too high. Hold on, this whole track's got to come down. Are both transform groups up too high, or is this transform group up too high? Where's my first one? Yeah, you're up too high as well. All right, I got to get these lowered. Oh, I know why. So this should be 205.82, and then this one should be 205.82, and that should get me at the right height. Okay, that gets me to the height I need. All right, so now that ties in. Let me just make sure it didn't move. And these are still tied together. Let me pull you back a little bit more. All right, so this will make it easier running to the edge of the map. So now I'll put a transfer station here, and we can transfer from train 3 to train 1 or 2 to go back to Central Station. See, now I don't have much more to add to this one, and it'll take us up to where I need to go. So this train will go a lot quicker. And we'll build another double bridge over here. Erase more grass yet again. Uh-oh. Let me try and see if I can pull chat down here a second. I've been ignoring chat. Sixth Wheelan, hello. Thank you for stopping in. I am working on a 16x non-islands map called, so it's 16x multi-fruit with the extra animals. So we'll have, you know, the donkeys, the dogs, the ducks, and the goats. Let me get to the end of this map and I'll give you a really quick overview of what's going on. It's going to be almost like a mining and construction map. I'm going to build mining into the map, and then everything else will be placeable. So you'll have to put all your own all of your own placeables down and build the map and build everything the way you want to set it up. Let me take one more section and see where that comes out. Yeah, and I'm going to take a 90-degree turn and throw it somewhere in there. So you're going to come back to about there. Let me do a quick save. I'll give you, I'm not going to go into the game and drive around, but I'll give you a quick tour. Uh-oh, Rob, what are you trying to post? Don't know what poor Rob's trying to post. So let me grab some speed. I'll show you in the editor, but I'm not going to head in game. So I'm going to get out. I need to get out of here in about another 10 or 15 minutes anyway. So essentially, it is going to be a valley between the mountains. So we have Center Mountain, and then you go down into the valley with the canal running through it, and then we come back up to a mountain range that runs around the outside of the map. I found a link to the converter from 17 to 19. That I have. That's not an issue. I think Goldcrest Valley was converted from 17 to 19, so I just have to download it and pull the textures out. So essentially there's a couple of high bridges, tall bridges, one going north, south, and east and west that you come across, and it ties the outer mountain into the center mountain. And then Center Mountain up here, we'll have Central Station and a transfer station that you can run stuff from the north train to the south train. The vehicle shop will be up here, a bunch of sell points in the town will be up here. And then there's a couple roads that go from the Center Mountain down into the valley. So there you're down in the valley, so you can drive around the mountain, around Center Mountain in the valley. So you can drive around Center Mountain in the valley, and then there's another road on this side that you can run up, back up to the Center Mountain. And then if you cross there's a bunch of bridges, so you can cross the bridge, and then you can go back up the mountain to the outer mountain, or you can continue around the canal on this side of the valley. So there'll be a road running here across the valley on the outside of the canal. And like I said, the only thing I'm going to build into this map are the mines and probably the oil wells, and then everything else is going to be build your own. So I don't even have the map borders done yet. Let me duplicate this guy. I'm going to slide him down. So he's going to be my railroad track running north and south on the other side of the map. And I want him just on the outside of the other tracks. So I got to get him moved. Let me come up here so I can see my gizmo. So he's got to come up here, and then he's going to run parallel to this track all the way down. So we'll have a transfer station somewhere over here where we can transfer from train to train. And then let me grab this guy and let me duplicate him and get him slid over. And then I'll just have to do the same thing going across the south end of the map and going across the north end of the map. And then I'll just tie this train together. So now all I got to do is come up top. Let me bring a curve with me. So now all I got to do is bring this corner up here. Yeah, like I said, I can't go too much longer, maybe another 15-20 minutes, and I have to get out of here for the night. Let's see if she needs any help finishing dinner. So, tie this guy in. Let me take my speed down so I can get this lined up the way I want it. Alright, so you got to come over a little bit. So let's go 0.5. 0.5. So there's where I want you that way. And then this direction, about there. And then I can take come down here, let me close that, and I could take this guy, let me come over here and grab some height so I can see where I'm at. So let me duplicate him, and then I could bring him down this way. And then flip him that direction. And then tie him in here. Up and down on the speed all day long. Alright, so let's tie you in here. Something like that. Right? Yep. And then I'm go back up on my speed. Then I could take this one. Let me duplicate this guy. I could slide him down to here, turn him this way, get him squared up to 90. Now we can bring him down. We can get him lined up with the edge of this track. And again, we're going to have a lot of grass to erase and fix, but that's project for another day. So we tie this guy in. Get him lined up. looks pretty good. So now we'll come down here, see how close it is to this other one. But if anybody says that they don't have enough room to put factories down, I'm going to smack them. Alright, so let me grab my 90. So you got to go to 205.82. Making enchiladas while watching on my tablet. Nice. What? I don't even know what we're having tonight. Oh, we're having hamburgers tonight and leftover noodles and cabbage and leftover baked ziti. So we're going to make fresh burgers with some leftovers tonight. And it may actually do on the grill because it's like 55 degrees out here today. Alright, so that's going to line you up. Let me get rid of some grass. And then we'll get this piece. Yeah, we'll delete you. And then you. I don't know how much. I may have to bring a 30 in. I don't think I can shrink you down that far and make you look good. So let's delete you. Actually, let's get you lined up and get my... Oh, that lines up the 90 degree pretty well. So let me, let's take this guy, just leave him there a minute. Let me bring down a 30 meter. Let me grab a 30. Let me find a 30. I know I've got one in here somewhere. I may have to grab like a 30 and a 10. Huh. Okay, let me come back up top. I know I had a 30 in here somewhere. Let me close that one. Let me go to train A. I know there's a 30 in here somewhere I can steal. Let me go to the first train B. And I've got a 30 and a 10 in here somewhere. Here's a 30 meter. Let me drop him in. Let me make him go to 205.82. Get him lined up. Let me go down on my speed again. And get him lined up. About here, and see how short he is. Yeah, I can't stretch him out that far, so let me find a 10 meter here, right here. And take him to 1. Let me make sure this was, well, let me take him to 1. So that gets him at the right length. Now let me take this guy, we'll spin him this way. 205.82. We'll get him lined up. And then we'll get him, oh, so this 90 degree corner does have to move a little bit. So let's go 0.04, .05, somewhere in here for now. And then you have to come back a little bit until you tie in that direction. 9.4 right there. And then this guy has to come down a little bit shorter. So let's go like 0.995, something like that, and that ties him in. So that and then this guy can get deleted. So that's our track 3/4 of the way around the map. And then we can fly up here. And then I can grab, let me go back to just grass a minute. Let me get rid of this crazy texture. So now I could take one of my 90s, you, throw you over here, 205.82 on my height. Let's get you tied in going in this direction. Let me erase a little bit more grass. And we almost have the third train in. And then I'll do, if anybody wants to see, I'll go in game and I'll drive around a little bit more if anybody else wants to see the map. If not, once I get this third track tied in, I am going to get out of here for the night. But if anybody else wants to do another quick map tour, let me know. I have no problems going into the map and driving around for a couple seconds. So you are going to be 0.7, yep, right there. So you fall into place right there. So now I take, so let me close you. Let me just come down here and close some of these transform groups. Alright, so now I take the first train C, which should be right there. Let's duplicate that. Let's spin it this way to -90. And then all we gotta do is tie this one in. To about there. And then I take this second transform group right there. Let's duplicate that one. Let's bring, if I can get a hold of the blue, come on, give me the blue one. Give me the blue one. Okay, I got to go up a little bit higher. Give me the blue one. Right there. So I can bring him back. Alright, so now we spin you this way to -90. And I get rid of some grass so I can see. And we line you up. Come over here so I can see the gizmo. So we'll get you lined up. Like so. And then I think all I need is one more 90. And before we put all the splines in, I'm going to get all the bridges built. Yeah, so let me get rid of some grass. So this one we will delete. Come back up here. End of train B. Or track BB. And all I need is 90 degree. So let's get you tied in over here. Yeah, actually, let's get you tied in. Let me go down on my speed again. Let me get you tied in on this side first. Oh, I can't because this one's too long. Alright, so let's get you tied in over here first. And then we'll adjust the length. 205.82. And we'll get you tied, get you lined up as close as I can. And then we're going to have to get rid of this section because it's going to be too long. And we will grab from here our 30 and our 10. Should be at the end of this. Yep, so let's grab this 30. Throw you here. 205.82. And we'll spin you around. And we'll grab this 10. I'll throw you here, and we'll spin you around. Now let's get these lined up. So you can now come over here and get lined up here, and then my 10 can come over here. Hold on, you're not at 90, so let me get you at 90. Are you at 90? You're not at 90. So let me make sure that's lined back up. Alright, now I can line up my 10. We can get, now we can get our 90 degree lined up. Is it this one? Yeah. 4-1. So that's lined up there. Is it lined up here? It is. So there is our third train in. So after we get all the splines in, somewhere over here, probably straight back from this road, I'll put a dirt road or a gravel road in, and we'll put a transfer station in here so we can transfer from train to train. And then straight across on the other side of the map we'll do the same thing. So let me save this. Wish I was Wish it was 55 here. We got winds blowing and snow. Yeah, actually we had a cold front come in, so it started out at 55 this morning, and then the temperature started dropping all day long. But this it's supposed to stay nice. It's supposed to stay between 50 and 55 through Saturday, and then Saturday night into Sunday we have another cold front coming in, and then next week, all next week, our highs are only supposed to be like between 25 and 30 all week. All right, so it is 5 o'clock. I am going to close the editor since we're saved. Let's jump back in game for a couple minutes and we'll just drive around. Spend about 10-15 minutes driving around, and then I'm going to get out of here for the night. So let's delete save game 8. Let's go back in here. It sounds better than here. And better than my parents in the Poconos, man. They got nailed the last. It was Saturday night through Saturday night or Sunday through Tuesday. They got 16 inches of snow, and then they're supposed to get another storm come in this coming weekend, and they have more snow headed in this weekend. So those I don't miss that snow at all. So it's starting to look like a map. We have the road system in. We have our tracks laid out. We've got a bunch of bridges to build. But let's just do a quick drive around I want to drive around the outside the map where the railroad track is that we just put in and see how it feels in game. And now I'm going to have to work on the map border. After we get the trains in and the train splines in and running, we get the traffic in and the traffic splines running. Before we go any further on the build, I'm going to have to work on the map border. So we're going to have a train. Some of these T's may get changed out to X's. I may extend this road out to the edge of the map. And then we may run another road around the outside of the map along this train track. I'm not sure yet. But somewhere here buried in the grass, we're going to have a train track running around the perimeter of the map. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here soon, as soon as we go for a drive. I appreciate everybody stopping in, taking time out of their day and saying hello. Appreciate the sub. Appreciate the extra new follows. You guys and gals are awesome. If the Wi-Fi holds up, I want to come on here tomorrow and we're going to work on some factories. I don't know which ones yet, but I'm thinking, let me grab my notebook without driving off the edge of the map. I'm thinking Hershey and either Procter and Gamble to make paper towels and toilet paper, or the soda factory. I'm not sure yet. And I've got to redo a little bit of Old Man's Mill that makes the walkers, wheelchairs, and feather dusters, because I think I want to make it buildable. Right now it's pre-built, but I think I want to make it buildable. So I don't know how far we're going to get tomorrow. And I want to work on the potato washer and potato steamer and get them updated. So we've got a lot on the to-do list for tomorrow. But the major map updates are done. Yeah, I think I'm going to like this train running around the perimeter of the map, because if you have if you have your farm back here, and I'm going to put transfer stations like in all four corners of the map, so we can put grain in here from truck to train or train to truck. Then we can come down and transfer from the third train to train 1 and 2 and take the grains into Central Station. And then from Central Station you could take it to whatever factory's going to need it, or whatever sell point is going to need it. All right, I'm going to push my luck and try and drive across the water. As long as I don't hit a bump at the very end and go flying in. So now somewhere in here, about halfway down, we'll put another transfer station in where you can transfer from train to train. Now I can't wait to get the trains running. It'd be so nice to come here, drive around the map, and see the trains running. So we're going to have a lot of grain stations and a lot of railroad stations to work on. And a lot of triggers to put in. Yeah, yay, I made it, yeah. I was holding my breath driving across there. So yeah, somewhere right before it turns, we'll get a transfer station in, so we can transfer from the train 3 to train 1 or 2. And then eventually I want to get rid of the old map, even if I put a temporary map in here. But I want to get rid of that old map so we don't see it as we're driving around. Because even in single player, if I'm working up here on like this edge of the map, on the corner, there's no way in hell I want to drive my grain back to the sell point that's on the top of the center of the mountain. I'll gladly jump in the train and transfer it and take it to the central station. So before I go to the edge of the map, how much room is there between here and the road? Oh, there's plenty of room for fields and forests and to build farms and farmhouses. Oh yes, plenty of room between the track and the road. And we got plenty of, I'm going to drive to this road and then see how much room there is between the road and the track. I know there's plenty of room between the mountain and the road to put big fields in. So there's plenty of room between this road and back towards the edge of the mountain where the other railroad track runs. So there's plenty of room here to put fields in. And now there should be plenty of room between the road and the outer track to put fields in. I was afraid it was going to be too crowded, but I don't think it is. Well, if we don't like the third train, we can always take it out. Didn't put that long to put it in. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room for farms and factories and forests and fields. You got plenty of room to put your own mills down and your own orchards down. I forgot how long it takes to drive around the 16x map. But it definitely feels twice as big as the islands map. And once we start putting the train splines in, we're going to have a crap ton of railroad crossings to put in. The only part of the map that feels small is the valley. Which is good because we can put a bunch of small starter fields down here. So there's not a lot of room between the water and the road. So we're going to end up with a bunch of small starter fields down here between the canal and the road. There's plenty of room to put long, narrow fields here between the road and the mountain. We can run a really long, narrow field down if we want to. But there's not a lot of room between the road and the canal to put fields in. So this is the only part of the map driving around that feels small. But somewhere here along the canal, we're going to have to squeeze in a couple of water fields. So I'll drop the land down to the water level here. So we'll have another height adjustment and another road going down. And then somewhere along the water here, we'll have a couple of water fields. They're not going to be as big as the other maps. They're going to be smaller water fields. So we'll have yet another elevation change somewhere along the canal. But driving around the map, I actually like how it's starting to feel. Alright, I am going to get out of here. It looks bigger watching you drive it. It is definitely, I'm glad I decided to scrap the other map I started and go with this map. Let me throw y'all on ending soon while I get out of here, while I exit and close and all that jazz. But again, Rob, thank you. Have a good evening. Farm Chick, good night. Appreciate everybody's time. I am going to back up my map like I do every night, transfer it to my external memory, just out of habit, and hopefully the Wi-Fi holds out and I can get on here tomorrow. Sassy one, good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.